We've got the Sky Racing QTIS benchmark 72 handicap over the 2,1212 metres for race number 4 here at Eagle Farm. No scratchings. Inuwashi is your favourite, the 4, but we'll look at Pepper's Ghost, Michael. Jake Bayless rides under the big weight of 61 for Brett Kavanagh.
Yeah, he's got a big weight, but he's a big boy to carry it.
Very
Pepper's
big
Ghost.
boy.
He was good at Murwillumbah last start when winning. He had 58.5. He's got to carry the 61 here today. He sat second there. They're only cantering along, and he pulled out plenty to score. So he'd be here with a chance.
Go Millo's deeper into his preparation, but racing well. Larry Cassidy for Mark Curry.
Yeah, sometimes he's a little bit hard to catch, but last start he was good, winning that Provincial Stayers final there at Ipswich on Cup Day, beating I Am the Empire. He rises 3.5 kilos. It was a lovely ride by Larry Cassidy. Gave him every chance, and coming off that win, he'd have to be given a hope again here today.
Master Marko looks well. The 3, Jaden Lloyd for Paul Jenkins.
Yes, he was in that race as well, but he was almost 5 lengths behind Go Millo at the end. I'd say he didn't run the distance, so back 300 metres is a good thing for him.
Tony and Madison Sears have the 4, Inuwashi. This is our favourite, Ben Thompson.
It's hard to fault him. I know he doesn't win out of turn, but his last 2 runs at the midweeks at Doomben have been good. Third to Faulkner Park, who's been really good since he's been gone back to Sydney Faulkner Park. And then this guy won at Doomben a fortnight ago, beating Chase and Artie. He was mostly wide. He took off a long way from home, and he won it with authority. I think this is no harder at all. So clearly the way to go for me.
Chernak is the 5, Jimmy Orman for Chris Waller.
Well, he's got 3 lengths to make up on Inuwashi. He sort of followed Inuwashi, but couldn't really gain any ground on him. In fact, he might have lost a bit of ground late. The one thing about this guy is the 22, the further the better. Up to 22 here at Eagle Farm are positives for Chernak.
Glen Massey is the 6, Luke Tarrant riding for Paul Duncan.
Yeah, Glen Massey's coming out of a maiden victory over this distance at the sunny coast. He can run the distance, but this is up a couple of grades on a maiden.
The 7 is Reflecting Image, Sammy Collett for Greg Cornish.
She's won up to 2,600 metres. In fact, her 2 wins, the other win was over the 2-2. So this is what she's all about, these long-distance races. And she was actually okay behind Go Millo at Ipswich. She was finding the line okay over the last 200.
Adelissa is the 8, Mark Duplessis riding for Michael Nolan with the tongue tie on for the first time.
She's got to run the distance to 2,200, but she's very fit and can possibly settle in a nice position from that good draw.
And Damien Thornton rides the 9, Collection Point from the 2 for Lee Friedman.
Yeah, this fellow's only had the 13 starts. The only victory was over 2,200 at the Gold Coast and was okay last start at Lismore. Can run the distance, no weight on his back. He'd have to be given a top 4 chance.
80 Chernak is on the second line, 440, and then Collection Point carrying the 53 as well, not the 52 that is advertised weight on the third line, Michael.
All right, well, I'm with Inuwashi here. He's been the solid favourite. He was 280 into 270, just back to $3, as Chernak is the one that's dropping in the market. Number 5, 550 into $4.20. If you had a look at their individual performances against each other last start, you'd say, well,
there's only one way to go.
Yeah, well, but at least we know that Chernak is his start before at Ipswich. He was just like he joined in at the top of the straight, put a big margin on them at the end of the long distance there. So the 22 plus is probably more to his liking, but still hoping Inuwashi jumps well. I believe that is a little bit of a concern, this guy. Tony was saying on radio earlier today that he's, it's a bit scary watching him in the gates. It's like as if he's not going to jump. But look, if he repeats that Doomben run, then he'll win this today. So 4 to beat 2, 1 and 5.
He's all neck, isn't he? He's just long and lean and angular, perfect stayer. That's obviously why they use that nose roll. He tends to get that head up when he tries to lengthen. But I was 4.759 as well. Did some really good work late at Doomben. He should just be so much suited better across the road here at Eagle Farm. He's got that big free action. He can sit wide. All he really needs is room, and he's fit now as well. The 7 in Reflecting Image, I thought was a good smoke. He was better than it looked last start behind Go Milo. The 5 in Chernak. It's funny, I just heard the strapper mention to Jimmy too that he was a lot more relaxed today. So maybe he did get a bit worked up last time at Doomben. So we'll see if he can turn around his performance, albeit he meets Inuwashi worse at the weights today. And then the 9 on Collection Point on the featherweight. Looked the winner everywhere, but the post last start, that was a benchmark 74 at Lismore when he started out favourite. So racing well and getting closer to another win. So 4, 7, 5 and 9.
13 final acceptors for the Caloundra Cup on Saturday, and it's this meeting that pretty much winds up the carnival for this year. And they've got a good field in the cup, bit of depth to it. We've got Luncy's lining up following his Tats Cup victory of last week, where I think he had 55. He does rise to 59.5 kilos top weight. The favourite is Zoom On for Waterhouse Pop. Tim Clark to ride. Now, he's only got 54.5, so beautifully handicapped. Bit of an awkward gait, but we know he strides forward. They went up 350. He's into 340 Zoom On. And Luncy's opened at 480. He's dropped to $4.40. Desert Icon, runner-up in the Ipswich Cup, is at 6. Regal Lion, the winner of the Ipswich Cup, is at $6.50. What else have we got here? We've got Warning. Now, he's been really good. He bypassed Ipswich. He was really wide, wasn't he, in the
Freedman's, yes.
in the Brisbane Cup? He was, a bit stiff not to win it. Good
He
old
was.
Warning.
What about the Winx Guineas? We've got Soothsayer, who looks to be, there's a sense of timing with Soothsayer.
And that timing is that there's no yellow brick.
That timing is that there's no yellow brick, correct, and loves the sunny coast. We've got Stroll. We've got Knight's Choice, the newcomer. It's a ripper race, the Group 3 Winx Guineas.
Going in
Chairman loves the Sunshine Coast as well. He's got electric turn of foot.
Well, he was really good in that, was it the Kearney, getting up late but strong late.
Yes.
At Ipswich on Cup Day. And the interesting runner, Tabagorn up favourite, Grabeni. Ryan Maloney riding for Ryan and Alexio. They've gone up $4. He did touch 420, back into 4 on Tab. And he's put together a sequence of victories. He's won his last 3. And this looks a perfect race for him.
Great meeting.
Where did he draw that fellow, Gabeni? He drew 18. Dear, oh dear.
Oh, dear.
So we've got to study the barrier draws tonight, Kiam. But it's always a great day's racing, and punters love betting at the sunny coast.
Oh, it's a beautiful, nice, even track. So, yeah, looking forward to that. All right, Inuwashi is $2.90, Chernak $4, Collection Point $4 as well, just in, and Pepper's Ghost is your first, just before double figures there at $9.50.
And by the way, Munamek has gone in tab favourite for the Glasshouse at $4.40.
Munamek, all righty, loading up well here for race number 4 at Eagle Farm. Our quaddies on the other side. We'll head to Dave now.
Thanks, Jeff. Jeff Gould advising us that Go Mello's been vetted and cleared to run. These runners are loading well. Inuwashi on tab $2.80, but Chernak well back to beat at $3.90, and Collection Point also solidly supported at $4. There's only one other runner under single figures, and that's Pepper's Ghost, or under double figures, I should say. Pepper's Ghost at $9.50. Now we've almost got a complete line as Go Milo goes up, Inuwashi goes in, and now they're locked and loaded for race 4. Starters at the ladder, red light turned on. Favourite drawn at barrier 3, they're off and racing. He dawdled out Inuwashi. He missed it by a length or 2. Not so Master Marko, fast away and goes straight to the early lead from Adalissa in second. Pepper's Ghost, third away, pushing on, and Glen Massey fourth on the rail as they go down the straight on the first occasion and go to the bottom bend. Collection Point settling midfield. A bit wide was Go Milo, then reflecting image of those black and white colours, third last on the rail. Chernak is second last, and the favourite Inuwashi settles down last of all. Short of 1,800 metres left to run, Master Marko. He likes to boss and bully in front. He's getting that roll today. Leads Adalissa by a neat length. Adalissa just popping off the fence now to trail by about 3/4 of a length. Glen Massey over on the rail in third. Pepper's Ghost is fourth. And now Collection Point makes an early move with a lightweight. Sweeping around them 3 wide up towards the lead. May have a crack for the front even as they travel down the back straight to approach the 1,400 metres. Collection Point trying to cross Master Marko. Hasn't done so as yet. Pepper's Ghost went up to third. Adalissa back to fourth on the fence. 2 Glen Massey in 5, and then came Go Milo, reflecting image, Inuwashi and Chernak, 2 of the big guns in the market. They're second last and last. They head along the back straight, 1,100 left to run, half the journey completed, and eventually Collection Point takes over. He leads Pepper's Ghost, who moved up to be second, and Master Marko, after leading, is now back third on the rail. A length and a half to Adalissa in fourth, one away Glen Massey, Go Milo the outside. Now Inuwashi passing, reflecting image, and Chernak is still last, but when Inuwashi goes, Chernak will surely follow. Down the side by Racecourse Village, short of a half mile left to travel. The well-back Collection Point at 3/4 to spare over Pepper's Ghost. Master Marko in third, Adalissa in fourth, being felt for. Inuwashi continues his run. He's up to fifth and 3 wide. He'll just try and grind away. They're followed by Chernak, now hopping onto the back of Inuwashi. Go Milo's under some pressure. Glen Massey near the rail, and reflecting image has dropped out and will probably not complete the track. On straightening, Collection Point headed for home in front. Master Marko has another go on the outside. Pepper's Ghost, Adalissa. Inuwashi and Chernak now making their runs together. They're thundering down the centre of the track. Collection Point is now gone. Master Marko reached the lead. Inuwashi and Chernak up beyond the centre of the track are trying hard. They're right across the track. Inuwashi out wide and Chernak. Inuwashi might have it. Thompson going for home. Inuwashi in front of the favourite wins. Inuwashi for either Chernak or Glen Massey. Then Master Marko, Go Milo, Adalissa, well back Collection Point, then Pepper's Ghost, and reflecting image tail off last.
So beats 5, Inuwashi beats Chernak, and we're just waiting for third. Oh, close there.
Glen Massey and Master Marko.
Glen Massey on the inside there will get that third spot ahead of Master Marko. There was a bit going on early. Kian, Collection Point at about the 1,400, not happy with the pace, whipped around, and that sort of helped those horses back in the field a bit.
Certainly did. There's nothing like the brother-in-law just injecting that little bit of tempo when you're on a back marker. It's worked out perfect for Inuwashi because he's a hard horse to watch, isn't he? He looks like he's going down, up and down on the one spot sometimes. He's got that high leg carriage. He sticks that neck up in the air, but he's actually really winding up and just fending them off again late like he did last start.
Yeah, it was a tough win, a bit similar like Doomben when he took off a fair way from home, but it's not that easy to do here on these big stretches. But he sort of got there and then he was flat stick from the top of the straight, but he's done a really good job to dig deep and he's made it back-to-back wins. The runner-up good. I've seen him do this before. He just wants to lay out a little bit when under pressure in the straight, Chernak.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad performance there by the place getter.